Wow! It turns out that laws in the US can be quite strange. For example, in Arizona, it is illegal to place a donkey in a bathtub, and violating this law can result in a fine. In Alabama, there is a unique law prohibiting carrying ice cream in your pocket. These absurd yet real laws reflect not only eccentricity, but also the uniqueness of each state's culture. Laws that may seem puzzling to residents of other regions result from local traditions and historical development, making each state uniquely distinctive. Do you know what the deepest lake in the world is? Lake Baikal, located in Siberia, is the deepest freshwater lake on Earth. Its depth reaches 5,315 feet, which is about 1,620 meters. This natural wonder holds a wealth of secrets, preserving ancient layers of sediments and housing unique species found nowhere else. Lake Baikal is not just a body of water. It's a living archive of the planet's history, containing traces of Earth's evolution hidden deep within its waters. Xbox controllers in U.S. submarines. Gaming revolution at the Navy service. Can you imagine that the U.S. Navy uses Xbox controllers to operate periscopes on submarines? This unexpected fact came about due to a desire to make control systems more intuitive and user-friendly for young sailors who are familiar with video games. Additionally, using off-the-shelf gaming controllers significantly reduces the cost of developing complex military systems. This move not only simplified the work of sailors, but also made it a lot more fun. Who would have thought that a beloved gaming gadget would find a place in such serious conditions? It's hard to believe, but balancing barnacles glue better than superglue. These humble sea creatures are master chemists. Barnacles secrete a natural underwater adhesive made from complex protein polymers and calcium, which instantly hardens in salt water. Their glue can bind to almost any surface, metal, rock, or shell, and remains stable in high-pressure, turbulent environments. Lab tests show their cement has bonding strength up to 14 MPa, surpassing many industrial adhesives. Unlike superglue, it's eco-friendly, biodegradable, and works flawlessly underwater. Scientists are studying its structure to develop medical-grade sealants and underwater construction adhesives. Evolution refined this formula over millions of years, solving engineering problems that still challenge human scientists. It's one of the most perfect examples of nature outperforming industry with sustainable brilliance. Can you imagine? Flamingos aren't born pink. Baby flamingos come into the world with grayish-white feathers. They develop their signature pink hue only after they start feeding on brine shrimp and blue-green algae. These colorful foods contain pigments called carotenoids, which gradually turn their feathers pink. It's a vivid transformation that turns these elegant birds into the beautiful pink creatures we adore. So the next time you see a flamingo, remember, their color is all thanks to their diet. Did you know offices used to be so different? The action office system, created in the 1960s, really shook things up in how we think about office spaces. Before this revolution, offices were often lined with rigid cubicles, fostering isolation and limiting creativity. But the action office system introduced a flexible, open layout that encouraged people to interact and collaborate. Imagine desks that could be rearranged, community spaces for brainstorming, and the freedom to personalize your work area. This shift helped to break down barriers, allowing for more communication and innovation among coworkers. Such an environment boosted creativity and made work feel less like a chore and more like a community effort. Today, many modern offices, with their trendy lounges and communal workspaces, owe a great deal to this groundbreaking system. The way we work and collaborate has evolved significantly, all thanks to a push for a more dynamic and engaging office atmosphere. So next time you step into an office that's buzzing with energy, think back to how far we've come since that era of stiff, solitary cubicles. Is it really possible that birds sleep in flight? It sounds like science fiction, but some birds, like frigate birds and swifts, can literally sleep while flying. Researchers used tiny EEG sensors to monitor brain activity and discovered that these birds use unihemispheric slow-wave sleep, resting one side of the brain while the other stays awake. This unique ability allows them to soar across oceans for days or weeks without landing. They can stay alert enough to navigate, avoid obstacles, and maintain balance, all while giving their brains periodic rest. This adaptation is crucial for species that can't land safely on water or lack feeding spots mid-journey. It's an incredible evolutionary response to the challenge of long-distance migration. These birds are the only known vertebrates capable of combining motion and sleep so seamlessly, proving that nature finds rest, even in midair. One spaghetti noodle is called spaghetto. Spaghetti is one of the world's most popular dishes, but did you know that if you have just one noodle, it's called a spaghetto? This quirky grammar twist adds a touch of loneliness to an otherwise delicious meal. So if you ever find yourself dining alone on a single strand of spaghetti, don't feel bad. You're just following proper Italian grammar rules. Italian grammar makes food not only delicious, but also a little more poetic. Can you imagine that in Colorado, there's a town where it's illegal to die? In the town of Nederland, Colorado, there's a strange and even absurd law. You can't die in the town. This law stems from a local history involving attempts to preserve a man's body in a frozen state. Now the town has declared itself a territory for immortals, and locals jokingly claim that they're simply not allowed to die. Of course, the law isn't enforceable, but many people visit Nederland to laugh at this odd tradition and learn about the story of the frozen eternal resident. Why does Sweden have one of the strangest museums in the world? In Stockholm, there is the Museum of Failure, where you can find exhibits of failed inventions, products, and services that did not meet expectations. For example, you can see Coca-Cola with a coffee flavor, strange household gadgets, and even video games that flopped. The creators of the museum believe that we learn from mistakes and that failure is an essential part of any discovery. Visitors often marvel at how bizarre some ideas can be and how far people go in their pursuit of innovation. This museum has become a place where you can laugh at the past and rethink what success means. Why do the leaves of some plants glow? In the dark forests of New Zealand, you can find a remarkable plant called glow moss, which emits a faint blue-green light in the dark. This phenomenon, known as bioluminescence, attracts insects that help spread its spores. Travelers who have seen it with their own eyes say the glowing moss looks like magical lights in a nighttime forest, as if they have stepped into a fantasy world. This natural lamp adds an enchanting and mystical touch to the forest. Imagine for a moment that Las Vegas came about purely by chance. In 1829, a caravan traveling from Texas to California lost its way. The desperately thirsty people were fortunate to find a source of fresh water, and they named the place Las Vegas, which in Spanish means fertile meadows. This chance encounter laid the foundation for the city that would eventually become the casino capital and global entertainment hub. Is it possible in the USA there is a river that flows underground for 1,000 kilometers? In the United States, under the Appalachians, lies a vast underground river system known as the Ogallala Aquifer. This subterranean river stretches for 1,000 kilometers, and its waters supply millions of people in the Midwest. Although it cannot be seen, it serves as an important source of drinking water for a huge area. Scientists warn that due to climate change and excessive water use, this unique river could dry up in the coming decades, making it even more mysterious and crucial for preservation. Is it possible? There's blue fire on volcanoes. On the island of Java, Indonesia, stands the Aegean volcano, famous for its unique natural phenomenon, blue fire. This extraordinary sight is caused by the high concentration of sulfur in volcanic gases, which ignites upon contact with the air, producing a bright blue flame. This blue fire can only be seen at night, creating a breathtaking and almost mystical display. Tourists from all over the world travel here to witness this rare phenomenon that cannot be seen anywhere else. Did you know that turtles can breathe through their butts? Yes, you heard that right. Turtles, especially species like the Fitzroy River turtle, can breathe through their cloaca. the opening they use for reproduction and waste excretion. This amazing ability helps turtles absorb oxygen from the water, allowing them to stay underwater for long periods. This process is called cloacal respiration, and it's yet another example of how unique and diverse survival methods are in the animal kingdom. So next time you see a turtle, remember that it's a true master of breathing from both ends. Why was Stonehenge really built? The mystery of Stonehenge has puzzled scientists for centuries. One theory suggests it was an ancient astronomical structure used to observe celestial events. Research shows that Stonehenge was aligned with the summer and winter solstices. Another hypothesis proposes that it was a place of healing or a ritual complex. Despite numerous theories, the true purpose of this ancient monument remains a mystery. Sperm whales, the loudest creatures on Earth. Sperm whales are underwater sound machines. They produce clicks and vocalizations that can reach up to 230 decibels. That's several times louder than a jet engine. These sounds help sperm whales communicate over vast distances and navigate the ocean depths. They use them like sonar to hunt giant squid at depths of over 1,000 meters. These clicks are so powerful that they can even stun their prey from a distance. Imagine if humans had similar abilities. We could communicate across entire oceans. Why exactly does the Statue of Liberty belong to New Jersey? This iconic symbol of freedom and democracy, known worldwide, actually sits in New Jersey's waters. While it's often associated with New York City, the legal and geographical details tell a different story. The statue rests on Liberty Island, which is surrounded by the waters of New Jersey. This curious situation arises from an 1834 agreement between New York and New Jersey. The state of New Jersey originally claimed the land due to a 1664 charter, and subsequent laws confirmed that the waters surrounding the island were also part of New Jersey. As a result, many people often wonder if visiting the statue means they're stepping into New York or New Jersey. Besides its geographical quirks, the Statue of Liberty is a powerful symbol of hope for countless immigrants as they approach the American shores. So next time you admire Lady Liberty, remember that her official home is in the Garden State. The Babylonian lottery, fate decides dinner. Imagine your dinner invitation being decided by a lottery. In ancient Babylon, there was a lottery where fate literally determined who would attend the feast. This method of selecting banquet guests added an element of randomness and unpredictability to social life. Fate played a decisive role in who would be at the dinner table. This ancient custom shows just how much in life can depend on chance, especially when it comes to something as delightful as dinner. Can you imagine a country where gifts are a must? In Taiwan, gift-giving is more than just a kind gesture. It's a heartfelt tradition that plays a significant role in social gatherings. When you're invited to someone's home, it's customary to bring a little something as a token of appreciation. Popular choices include beautifully packaged tea, sweet candies, or fresh fruits, showcasing the host's hospitality and your thoughtfulness. The act of giving gifts isn't merely about the items themselves, but rather the connections they symbolize between friends and family. This practice is deeply woven into the fabric of Taiwanese culture, reflecting values of respect and gratitude. Whether it's a festive occasion or just a casual visit, presenting a gift is an expression of goodwill that strengthens relationships. It's also a wonderful way to share a piece of your culture or delight your host with local treats. So if you ever find yourself in Taiwan, don't forget to bring along a little present. It could be an exciting taste of the local flavors or a straightforward symbol of your appreciation. Tiny plants, mighty power. Half of Earth's oxygen comes from the ocean. The oxygen we breathe is not only created by forests, but also by tiny marine organisms like plankton, algae, and seaweed. These little factories produce more than half of the planet's oxygen through photosynthesis. Thanks to sunlight, they transform carbon dioxide into oxygen, which is vital for all living beings on Earth. This amazing fact reminds us of the importance of the oceans and their role in sustaining life on our planet. Discover how magnetic rings revolutionized early computer memory. In the early days of computing, memory technology took a fascinating turn with the use of tiny magnetic rings. Each ring was a remarkable component that stored data by allowing electrical signals to loop through them. When it came time to erase this data, engineers simply reversed the current, making the rings reusable. This innovative approach was a major leap forward, providing computers with a reliable way to hold and manipulate information. Imagine a collection of these rings strung together on wires, working tirelessly to perform calculations, while being as precious as gold. Over time, however, this technology was eclipsed by the invention of microchips, which packed even more power into an even smaller space. Yet, the magnetic ring memory remains a crucial chapter in the evolution of computing, showcasing how engineers shape the world we live in today. Doesn't it blow your mind that something so small played such a huge role in the technology we now take for granted? Most people don't know this, but immigrants boost our economy. Foreign-born workers account for nearly 18% of the U.S. labor force, and their contributions are vital to our nation's success. These individuals bring a variety of skills and experiences that enhance creativity and drive innovation in multiple fields. For instance, think about the groundbreaking companies that started with immigrant founders, like Google and Tesla. In addition to starting businesses, immigrant workers fill critical roles in sectors like healthcare, engineering, and technology, areas that are essential for maintaining and growing our economy. Their diverse perspectives lead to new ideas and solutions, making the workplace more dynamic and responsive to change. Moreover, as these workers earn wages and pay taxes, they contribute to local economies, fund public services, and support community development. So next time you see a product or service that seems innovative, remember that foreign-born individuals might have played a significant role in its creation. Isn't it fascinating how they shape our world? Is it really possible that in Norway, there is a tunnel where goats are herded every day? In Norway, there is the unique Lærdal Tunnel, which is considered the longest road tunnel in the world, stretching more than 24 kilometers. But what's surprising is that every spring this tunnel is not only used by cars, but also to herd goats. During migration, the animals cross the tunnel in search of pastures, and it has become a local tradition. Not only is it safer for the goats than mountain roads, but it also attracts tourists. Did you know that in the US, there are banknotes with denominations up to $100,000? These bills were designed for internal transfers between large financial institutions and were never used in everyday transactions. Primarily, they were intended to facilitate operations between Federal Reserve banks. Such notes are rare, and although they are no longer issued, they remain an important part of the history of the American financial system and serve as an interesting example of unique solutions in banking practice. Why are soap bubbles always round? The answer to this question is simple, but quite fascinating. Soap bubbles take on a round shape because it is the most stable and energy-efficient form for holding air inside. When you blow a bubble, the soap film naturally tries to distribute the surface tension evenly. A spherical shape is ideal because it minimizes the surface area, which helps the bubble maintain its structure. Although bubbles can take on other shapes if blown through specific devices or confined spaces, in free flight, they always return to their natural spherical form. It's an example of how the laws of physics manifest in even the simplest things, like soap bubbles. Can you imagine the world's smallest frog is less than 1 centimeter long? The world's smallest frog, Paedophryne amoensis, hails from Papua New Guinea and measures just 7.7 millimeters. That's less than 1 centimeter. Weighing only 1/100th of a gram, this tiny amphibian blends into the forest floor and feeds on small insects. Despite its minuscule size, its loud insect-like call makes it one of the most unique creatures in the rainforest. Did you know that the giant anteater feeds with a tongue up to 2 feet long? With no teeth and a jaw that barely opens, the giant anteater seems ill-equipped for hunting, but evolution has equipped it with one of nature's most extraordinary feeding tools, a sticky whip-like tongue up to 60 centimeters long. Covered in backward-facing spines and saliva as thick as glue, this tongue darts in and out of termite mounds and ant nests up to 140 times per minute, slurping up to 30,000 insects in a single sitting. Its powerful claws rip through hardened nest walls, while its elongated skull and specialized muscles propel the tongue with lightning speed. Unlike most mammals, its digestion begins externally. Enzymes break down prey in the stomach, with the anteater's strong acids dissolving tough insect exoskeletons. It's a bizarre but brilliant system. No chewing, no biting, just pure suction efficiency in the fight against ant colonies. Hard to believe, but the sun makes noise, and we can hear it. Although space is silent in the usual sense, scientists have found a way to hear the sun using special instruments. The sound of the sun is produced by vibrations on its surface and inner layers, caused by thermal processes. Scientists have converted these vibrations into sounds that we can hear. If you could listen to the sun, it would sound like a low, humming noise. These solar vibrations help astrophysicists study the sun's internal structure, predict solar flares, and understand the processes happening in its core. Polar bears are invisible to infrared cameras. Polar bears are true masters of camouflage. Thanks to their thick layer of fat and dense fur, they are perfectly insulated from the Arctic cold. But what's truly surprising is that these furry giants are almost invisible to infrared cameras. It's as if they have a natural invisibility cloak, making them the ultimate champions in the game of hide and seek. Good luck spotting them with a thermal camera. Hard to believe, but some bacteria can survive in space. Scientists have discovered that some types of bacteria can survive in outer space. In 2020, Japanese researchers conducted an experiment on the International Space Station, where bacteria from the Deinococcus genus were exposed to the outside of the station for 3 years. These tiny organisms endured extreme conditions in space, such as radiation, vacuum, and temperature fluctuations. All of this is possible thanks to their unique cellular defense mechanisms that repair DNA damage. Can you imagine such small organisms surviving conditions that would be fatal to humans? This discovery opens up new possibilities for life beyond Earth. The world's shiniest fruit. Meet the African palea. Believe it or not, the shiniest living organism on Earth is not a gemstone or an exotic animal, but the African fruit Palea condensata. This vibrant blue fruit with an iridescent sheen has a unique ability to reflect light. Its outer surface reflects light so intensely that it appears to glow from within. Scientists are studying this phenomenon to better understand how such a structure can be created in nature. This fruit has become a true mystery for botanists because its glow is caused by microscopic cell structures that reflect light like diamonds. No wonder it's considered one of the shiniest things on Earth. Why Washington, D.C. has no skyscrapers. Washington, District of Columbia, is a city with a unique skyline. There are no skyscrapers. This is because of the Height of Buildings Act of 1910, which limits building heights to ensure that no structure can overshadow the Capitol or the Washington Monument. As a result, the city has a distinct, low-rise architectural style that preserves its historic charm and keeps the monuments visible from almost anywhere in the city. Why are plastic flamingos outnumbering real ones? You might be surprised to learn that in the United States, there are estimated to be more plastic flamingos than actual flamingos. This quirky fact dates back to the 1950s when Don Featherstone created the iconic pink lawn ornament. These cheerful, lifelike plastic replicas quickly became a popular decoration for front yards, symbolizing a fun, carefree attitude in American suburban life. While the actual flamingo population is concentrated mainly in Florida and parts of the Caribbean, the colorful plastic counterparts have spread like wildfire across the nation, spawning yard parties, art installations, and even the occasional prank or two. Today, they can be spotted on lawns and gardens and even on porches, often in entertaining poses. While we might not see many real flamingos waddling about, these fun plastic birds bring a pop of color and a smile to everyday life, reminding us of sunny beaches and warm weather no matter where we are. What if Darth Vader's voice could live forever? In a surprising twist, the legendary James Earl Jones, the voice behind one of cinema's most iconic villains, has officially retired from voicing Darth Vader since 2022. His deep, resonant tones shape the character we all know and love in legendary films like the original Star Wars trilogy. However, fans need not worry about losing the Dark Lord's menacing presence. Lucasfilm has decided to use archival recordings of Jones's voice combined with cutting-edge AI technology to keep Darth Vader alive in upcoming projects. This innovative approach means that even with Jones stepping back, audiences can still enjoy the commanding voice that has become synonymous with power and fear in the Star Wars universe. It raises fascinating questions about the future of voice acting and the role of technology in storytelling. With AI blending seamlessly with the old recordings, it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan, as Vader's legacy continues in new and unexpected ways, allowing his chilling presence to echo through the galaxy for years to come. Ever seen a whale's tail from the sky? The Bahia Ballena region in Costa Rica is famous for its unique and stunning shape that resembles a whale's tail when viewed from above. Imagine soaring high in the sky and spotting this natural wonder amidst the lush greenery and sparkling waters. The name Bahia Ballena actually translates to Whale Bay, and it derives its name from the humpback whales that visit these warm waters every year. These gentle giants migrate from colder seas to mate and give birth in this safe haven. The tail shape of the bay isn't just a cool sight. It provides a perfect environment for marine life to thrive. This unique geography creates calm waters that are rich in nutrients, making it a prime spot for fish and other sea creatures. While enjoying the beauty from ground level is fantastic, it's from the air that the bay's allure truly shines, serving as a reminder of nature's creativity. People often flock to the area for eco-tours, hoping to catch glimpses of the majestic whales breaching and playing in their natural habitat. It's an unforgettable encounter that connects us all to the wonders of the ocean. Why do giraffes have coat patterns as unique as snowflakes? Each giraffe's coat is as distinctive as a fingerprint. No two individuals share the same pattern of spots. These spots vary in size, shape, and distribution, and are so specific that scientists use pattern recognition software to track individuals in the wild. But beyond identification, giraffe spots serve vital biological functions. Under each patch lies a dense web of blood vessels that act like thermal windows, helping the animal release heat in the intense African sun and retain it during cool nights. The patterns also provide camouflage among sun-dappled savanna foliage, breaking up their silhouette from the view of predators like lions. Genetic studies reveal that these coat patterns aren't random. They're inherited, with each population adapting spot formations based on climate and habitat. Giraffes literally wear their evolution on their sleeves, or rather across every inch of their tall, spotted bodies. Who would have thought that jellyfish are 95% water? Jellyfish are almost ethereal in appearance, and no wonder, 95% of their bodies are made of water. This high water content allows them to float gracefully through the ocean, moving with the currents as if weightless. Despite their simple structure, jellyfish have existed for hundreds of millions of years, perfectly adapted to life in the ocean. Their delicate, watery forms remind us of the fragility and beauty of marine ecosystems. Did you know that the oldest tattoo is over 5,000 years old? In 1991, archaeologists discovered a mummy known as Ötzi in the Alps. Ötzi is around 5,300 years old, and on his body they found 61 tattoos, mostly lines and crosses. These tattoos may have been used to relieve pain, as they are located near acupuncture points. It's fascinating to think that ancient civilizations used tattoos not just for decoration, but also for healing purposes. Can you believe that a tick can dine for up to 10 days? Ticks are true masters of long feasts. These tiny parasites can stay latched onto their host for up to 10 days, feeding without interruption. Imagine a dinner that lasts not just a few hours, but almost an entire week. The tick literally buries itself into the feast, slowly but surely enjoying its meal. While the host may not even realize that someone is indulging in their blood, the tick is having the time of its life. These little gourmets are so adapted to slow eating that they can store nutrients and feed on them for a long time. Though it sounds unpleasant to us, for ticks, it's a gourmet experience. If there were a competition for slow eating, ticks would surely be the champions. Did you know Vin Diesel loves Dungeons and Dragons? It's hard to picture the tough guy from action movies like Fast and Furious, sitting around a table rolling dice. But that's exactly what he does. Vin Diesel isn't just a Hollywood superstar, he's a passionate gamer who has embraced the world of D&D for more than 2 decades. His love for the game started in his childhood and has flourished since then. In interviews, Diesel has shared stories about how playing Dungeons and Dragons helped shape his imagination and creativity. He's not just a casual player either. He dives deep into the role-playing experience, crafting characters and stories that thrill him and his friends. His enthusiasm for gaming even influenced his work, inspiring some of the roles he's taken on. So next time you see him in a high-octane action scene, remember, behind the muscle and grit, there's a devoted gamer who knows the magic of a good story and the adventure of teamwork, just like in a classic D&D campaign. Why is space black? It's connected to Olbers's paradox, which explains the sky is dark despite the countless stars in the universe. Though there are many stars, their light doesn't fill all of space for several reasons. First, the universe is expanding, and many stars are moving away from us so fast that their light can't reach Earth. Second, there's a cosmic horizon beyond which we cannot see, making stars beyond that point invisible to us. Why do you think there is a skyscraper in Spain that stands empty? In Benidorm, Spain, there is a famous skyscraper called In Tempo, which was planned as a residential complex. However, construction ended without considering several crucial details, including elevators that do not reach the top floors. Despite its grandeur, the building remains empty because it is unfit for use. It has now become a symbol of planning errors and a reminder of the importance of considering every detail in architecture. Penicillin was discovered by accident, and it saved millions of lives. In 1928, Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to his laboratory and noticed that one of his Petri dishes, infected with bacteria, was covered in mold. He was amazed to find that bacteria were not growing around the mold. This was the beginning of the discovery of penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, which completely transformed medicine and saved countless lives. A chance discovery became one of the greatest breakthroughs in human history. Why do fennec foxes have such enormous ears? The fennec fox, Vulpes zerta, smallest of all canids, roams the scorching Sahara with its oversized radar-like ears, sometimes half the length of its body. These iconic ears aren't just for show. Packed with blood vessels, they radiate heat away from the body, functioning as natural air conditioners in temperatures exceeding 50 degrees. But they also serve as hypersensitive detectors. Fennecs can hear insects crawling beneath the sand and pinpoint prey like rodents or beetles from meters away. Nocturnal by nature, they rely on their exceptional hearing and padded feet to silently stalk through dunes. Their large ears are a dual-purpose miracle. Audio surveillance devices by night and cooling panels by day evolved to perfection for desert survival. In a landscape of extremes, the fennec's ears are both its shield and its sword. You probably didn't know that corals are animals, not plants. Corals may look like lifeless, stationary organisms, but they are living creatures belonging to the cnidarian family. They consist of tiny beings called polyps that feed on microscopic plankton. Polyps group together in colonies to form coral reefs, creating one of the most diverse and complex ecosystems on Earth. Despite their simplicity, corals play a crucial role in sustaining marine biodiversity, and their disappearance could alter ocean ecosystems for millennia. How does Germany successfully run a crocodile farm? At the crocodile farm in Saarland Zoo, more than 100 crocodiles live comfortably, even in Germany's harsh climate. This zoo is equipped with water heating systems that create ideal conditions for these exotic reptiles. Despite the cold winters, the crocodiles act as if they're in the tropics. Tourists can even watch them lazily swim or feed, making this one of the region's main attractions. You won't believe it. Blood only lives for 120 days. Imagine that your red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body, live for just 120 days. This is literally one of the wonders of our body. Old cells are recycled in the liver and spleen, while new ones are born in the bone marrow, ready to continue their vital mission. This constant process of renewal allows your body to function seamlessly. It's amazing how our body manages this cycle, maintaining the stable operation of all organs without us even thinking about its complexity. Did you know Venus spins backwards? Unlike most planets in our solar system, Venus rotates in the opposite direction, meaning the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Scientists are still unsure what caused this bizarre behavior, but one theory suggests that Venus may have collided with a massive asteroid long ago, altering its axis. And here's another mind-blowing fact. A day on Venus is actually longer than its year. Believe it or not, the immortal jellyfish cheats death. The tiny jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii has baffled scientists with its near-magical ability to reverse its own aging. After reaching adulthood, it can revert its cells to a juvenile state and start life anew, effectively cycling between maturity and youth indefinitely, unless it's eaten or otherwise fatally injured. This process, known as transdifferentiation, allows specialized cells to become stem-like and then respecialize, rebuilding the body from the inside out. It's not just a parlor trick of the sea, it's a biological mystery with implications for regenerative medicine and the science of longevity. The jellyfish's cycle of immortality reveals the astounding potential of cellular flexibility and reminds us that nature has already cracked secrets that science is only beginning to understand. Did you know the world's oldest recipe is for beer? The oldest known beer recipe dates back to around 4,000 years before our era in ancient Sumeria. This ancient beer shows how long the tradition of brewing has been preserved. Sumerians brewed beer from barley, and this process was a key part of their culture for millennia. Who would have thought that the tradition of beer is so ancient and still thriving today? Did you know that in Egypt, there is an ancient lighthouse that has been working for over 2,000 years? The lighthouse in Alexandria is one of the oldest structures still performing its function. It was built in the 3rd century BC and serves as an important navigation point for sailors. Although the original tower was destroyed by earthquakes, its reconstruction in later centuries allowed the lighthouse to remain operational. This lighthouse is not only a symbol of ancient technology, but also a testament to engineering mastery that has stood the test of time. Interestingly, the British flag consists of 3 elements. The flag of the United Kingdom, known as the Union Jack, is a combination of the flags of Scotland, England, and Ireland. This flag was created in 1801 with the official union of Great Britain and Ireland. Despite political changes and even Ireland's independence in 1922, this flag remains a symbol of the country, reflecting its diverse historical heritage. Who would have thought that dolphins sleep with one eye open? Yes, it's true. Dolphins have a unique ability to shut down half of their brain while the other half remains active. This allows them to rest while staying alert for predators and maintaining control over their breathing. Imagine being able to sleep while still ready to wake up at any moment. This evolutionary trick helps dolphins survive in the ocean. You might be surprised to learn about giraffe naps. Giraffes are fascinating creatures, especially when it comes to their sleeping habits. While most of us cherish our long nights of sleep, giraffes have a very different approach. In the wild, they only sleep for about 20 minutes at a time, and sometimes they don't even hit the hay more than a few hours a day. What makes this even more interesting is that they can catch some zoories while standing up, making them perfectly ready to spring into action if a predator comes by. This unique ability to rest while on their feet is crucial for their survival, as it allows them to stay alert and avoid potential threats. While they can sleep lying down, they only do so in short bursts when they feel safe. This minimal sleep pattern stems from their size. Having long necks and legs makes them vulnerable to dangers in the wild, so short, effective naps help them remain vigilant. So next time you think about a good night's sleep, just remember the giraffe's clever way of managing rest in the wild. Why is kissing camels banned in Egypt? And what could happen if you disobey? In Egypt, you can find signs warning, "No camel kissing." And it's not as strange as it sounds. These animals can be unpredictable, and they also carry infections that can be transmitted to humans. Despite their friendly appearance, camels can show aggression, especially when they feel threatened. It's better to keep a safe distance and settle for a photo to avoid any unpleasant surprises. Have you ever thought about how bats are the only flying mammals? Their wings are unlike birds' wings. They are special membranes stretched between elongated fingers. This unique construction allows bats to perform complex aerial maneuvers while hunting insects. They also use echolocation to navigate in the dark, making them incredibly precise hunters. Bats play a vital role in ecosystems, eating vast numbers of insects and pollinating plants. Amazingly, octopuses have 3 hearts. Octopuses are fascinating creatures with 3 hearts. One pumps blood to the body, and the other 2 pump blood through the gills. Moreover, their blood is blue because it contains copper instead of iron. This makes octopuses not only mysterious, but also some of the most unique creatures on Earth. It's hard to imagine that nature could create such amazing beings with such a unique system. Why is there a forest in Australia that glows at night? On Kangaroo Island, you can witness an incredible phenomenon: bioluminescent mushrooms that make the forest look like a fairy tale. The mushrooms emit a gentle glow thanks to bioluminescence, creating an atmosphere as if the forest is filled with stars. It attracts many tourists, especially those brave enough to spend the night among glowing mushrooms in a mystic setting. Let's break a common myth today. Crocodile tears aren't about emotion. The popular phrase, crocodile tears, implies fake sadness, but it originates from a real biological process. When crocodiles feed, powerful jaw muscles press on glands that trigger tear secretion, not from sorrow, but as a way to clean their eyes. These reptiles often dine on sandy shores, and the tears help flush out irritants and maintain clear vision. The phenomenon was first recorded in the 14th century and misunderstood as emotional weeping, which later gave rise to the metaphor. In truth, crocodiles are cold-blooded predators, driven by instinct rather than empathy. However, their tear mechanism serves a crucial function. Without it, they'd risk infections or impaired hunting ability. Interestingly, researchers are studying similar lacrimal responses in other species to better understand how tears evolved not just for emotion, but as tools of hygiene and protection. Can you believe that a shrimp's heart is in its head? Yes, you heard that right. A shrimp's heart is located in its head. This fascinating fact makes the shrimp unique among sea creatures. In its tiny head, both the brain and heart work in harmony to keep the shrimp alive. It's like a little command center where all the vital functions happen in one place. This quirky anatomy allows shrimp to remain highly efficient and agile in their underwater world, making them one of nature's most interesting creations. Let's uncover the truth about happiness and wealth. It's fascinating how our desires for wealth and happiness can shape our lives. Research shows that when people chase wealth, they often focus on selfish motivations, like personal gain or status. In contrast, the pursuit of happiness usually involves selfless motivations, such as helping others and building strong relationships. This difference highlights why finding a balance between the two is essential for our overall well-being. When we prioritize kindness and community alongside our ambitions, we foster a sense of belonging and purpose. Imagine a world where people actively seek to uplift each other while also achieving financial stability. This harmony can lead to not just individual happiness, but also improve the well-being of communities. Striking that balance can help reduce stress and increase life satisfaction. So how can we start blending these pursuits in our daily lives? By focusing on gratitude and giving back, we can elevate our own happiness while enriching the lives of others. Did you know the ancient Inca city could withstand earthquakes? Machu Picchu, the famous Inca city, was built using an ingenious technology that allowed it to withstand earthquakes. Located in a highly seismic zone, the Incas used a technique called ashlar masonry, where stones were so precisely cut that they fit together without mortar. During an earthquake, the stones could move slightly and then return to their original positions, keeping the structures intact. This brilliant engineering made the Incas true masters of ancient architecture. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, Its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Male seahorses, a fascinating exception in nature. Did you know that seahorses are the only animals where males carry the offspring? Yes, it's the male seahorses that take on the role of pregnancy. They have a special pouch on their abdomen where the female deposits her eggs. After this, the male seahorse incubates the offspring for about 3 weeks, eventually giving birth to baby seahorses. This unique process makes seahorses one of the most unusual creatures in the animal kingdom. Male sea dragons and pipefish, close relatives of seahorses, also possess this remarkable ability. Nature is full of surprises, and seahorses are living proof that it can break its own rules. Vatican City, the smallest country in the world. Vatican City is an independent city-state located within Rome, Italy, and it covers an area of just about 0.49 square kilometers, making it the smallest country in the world. Despite its modest size, the Vatican is a significant center of the Catholic Church and home to many renowned historical sites like St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel. Its population is around 800 people, making it not only the smallest by area, but also one of the least populated states in the world. How would you react if you learned that it was Tim Berners-Lee who invented the World Wide Web? What if you found out that Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist, was the one who created it? This is not just a change in technology, it's a revolution that radically transformed how we communicate and access information. In 1989, while working at CERN, Berners-Lee proposed a hypertext system that would link information through documents. This became the foundation for the World Wide Web, and since then, the internet has evolved, providing access to millions of websites and changing society. In the UK, there are many other scientists, such as Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking, and Isaac Newton, whose discoveries and research laid the groundwork for modern sciences and technologies. Did you know that ancient maps showed sea monsters? During the age of exploration, when sailors had no idea what lay beyond the horizon, maps often depicted enormous sea monsters. The cartographers who created them frequently drew giant squids, whales, and snake-like creatures in the seas and oceans, warning future travelers of what lay ahead. Some monsters on these maps were inspired by real encounters with unknown sea creatures, while others were pure fantasy. For sailors of that time, a map was not just a guide, but a warning about the dangers lurking beyond the known world. Did you know penguins can drink seawater? Penguins are true survival experts in the ocean. Unlike many other animals, they can drink seawater without any problem. How do they do it? It's all thanks to a special gland above their eyes that filters out the salt from the water. This natural filter allows penguins to use ocean water for hydration, turning it into drinkable water. Imagine penguins drink salt water as if it were a refreshing drink, while other animals have to search for fresh water. Their unique ability to drink seawater is yet another example of how ingenious nature can be. Believe it or not, your brain generates about 70,000 thoughts a day. Imagine your brain as a factory of ideas, working nonstop. Every day it generates around 70,000 thoughts. That means a new idea, memory, or decision is born in your head every few seconds. This incredible ability allows us to multitask and quickly adapt, processing thousands of decisions automatically. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by thoughts, remember, your brain's powerful thinking factory is in full operation. The inventor of the Super Soaker water gun worked for NASA. Who would have thought that Lonnie Johnson, the creator of the famous Super Soaker water gun, was an engineer at NASA? Johnson worked on developing advanced technologies for space missions, such as the Galileo project to Jupiter. But in his spare time, he developed toys, and one of his ideas became a global hit. The Super Soaker became an iconic water gun that kids around the world played with. This example shows that innovation can come from the most unexpected places, and an engineer's genius can create not only space technology, but also unforgettable childhood moments. Peanuts aren't nuts, they're legumes. You might be surprised to learn that, botanically speaking, peanuts aren't actually nuts. Peanuts belong to the legume family, like peas, beans, and lentils. Unlike true nuts, such as walnuts and almonds, peanuts grow underground and don't have a hard shell enclosing a single seed. A nut, in botanical terms, is a dry fruit with a hard shell, but peanuts don't fit that definition. Even though we often think of them as nuts, they're technically closer to peas and beans, but with a unique taste all their own. How do you think the famous alien footsteps sound was made? One of the most memorable sounds in film is the footsteps of the alien from the iconic movie E.T. But how was it created? The answer will surprise you. This unique sound was made using regular jelly. Sound designers simply squished their hands in jelly to imitate the sticky footsteps of the alien. This fact showcases the brilliance and creativity of sound engineers who turn everyday items into amazing sound effects. Now, the next time you watch the movie, you won't be able to hear the alien's footsteps without a smile, knowing their jelly origin. Could this really be true? All gold ever mined fits in 3 pools. Despite its glittering presence in culture and commerce, gold is astonishingly rare. Every ounce ever extracted by humans totals around 187,000 metric tons, enough to fill just 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Most of it sits in vaults, central banks, jewelry, and high-tech electronics. The metal's appeal lies in its unique properties. It doesn't corrode, it's easy to shape, and it's stunning to look at. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to the Inca worshipped it. Modern economies still hoard it. And yet, for all its symbolic weight, gold is surprisingly compact in physical volume. It's a reminder that rarity, not abundance, drives value, and that the treasures we fight over can sometimes fit in a room. Is it true that there is a bridge in China that only glows during a full moon? In Guizhou province, there is a bridge called the Moonlight Bridge, which becomes visible only under the light of the full moon. This bridge is made from a special material that reflects moonlight, creating the illusion that it glows in the dark. Tourists plan their trips around full moons just to see this unusual phenomenon. The architects who designed the bridge were inspired by ancient Chinese legends of moon spirits, and now this bridge has become one of the most romantic spots in the region. Why can rivers in Iceland change their direction? Iceland is a country known for its unusual natural phenomena, and rivers here can unexpectedly change their direction. This happens due to volcanic activity under glaciers. When magma heats the ice, massive amounts of meltwater form underground rivers that change course depending on the pressure and movement of the ice. As a result, a river can flow in the opposite direction within just a few days, leaving residents and tourists puzzled. Did you know that the Phi Islands survived a devastating tsunami but retained their beauty? Despite the horrific destruction caused by the tsunami in 2004, the Phi Islands in Thailand have maintained their unique and surreal charm. These islands became world famous after the filming of The Beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio, where the stunning cliffs and tropical beaches attract thousands of tourists each year. Even now, despite all the challenges, Phi remains a symbol of natural beauty and is an ideal destination for relaxation, diving, and excursions. It's hard to believe, but there's a city in Italy with no streets. Venice, Italy, is a city without traditional streets. There are only canals, and boats are the primary mode of transportation. Streets, as we know them, simply don't exist. Movement around the city is entirely water-based, making Venice unique among other cities in the world. Tourists travel by gondola or water taxi, enjoying the romantic atmosphere of this city on the water. Venice is one of those rare examples where the city has adapted to the constant presence of water. Did you know that ants never sleep? Ants are the real workaholics of the insect world. These amazing tiny creatures seem like they are non-stop working machines, constantly on the go without ever pausing to rest. But the truth is, ants don't sleep the way we do. Instead, they take short breaks throughout the day to recharge their energy. Their remarkable strength and impressive teamwork make them one of the most successful and efficient species on Earth. It's truly mind-blowing when you realize just how resilient they are. Did you know that $1 can be changed in 293 ways? When it comes to breaking a dollar, the combinations can be quite diverse. By using various coins like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, you can make a dollar in 293 different ways. This fact showcases just how intricate and varied the coin system can be and gives a whole new perspective on the humble dollar. Can you imagine that the Tianzi Mountains in China inspired fantasy films? Located in Hunan province, the Tianzi Mountains are famous for their unique peaks that seem to have grown out of the earth, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of scenes from science fiction movies. These mountains served as inspiration for the creators of the film Avatar and are considered one of China's most incredible natural wonders. For tourists, cable cars have been built that provide breathtaking views of these peculiar rock formations.